Hello, this is Candy from eyes2jesus.blogspot.com, and the main topic of today's video is going to be my August planner tour, but also just wanted to mention just a few other things while I'm filming this video. First of all, what is this channel about, Eyes2Jesus? This channel is not about Nibiru, this channel is not about planners, this channel isn't about Bible reviews or Bible studies. It's about basically whatever the heck I'm interested in talking about. So that tends to be sometimes a lot of those subjects. It's whatever I am looking at, observing, or researching, or I'm currently obsessed with. I haven't been putting up any new Nibiru videos because since that June 9 flyby that I put up multiple videos of, it's been dead over there. And I'm not expecting to see anything else until maybe later this month, otherwise probably not until mid to late September. We'll definitely get our answer by the end of September. But meanwhile, maybe I'll put up a Nibiru update video. We'll see if I have the time. Meanwhile, if some of you are wondering what the lipstick I'm wearing is, I'm trying out a new lipstick. It's Milani. It is a Amore Matte Lip Cream. So it's a liquid lipstick, and it goes on kind of creamy, and it's matte. And I really like the matte lipsticks. I don't like, for myself, lip glosses or shiny lips. I don't like my lips looking like they're wet. Then it looks like I'm drooling, and that's gross. So yeah, I'm trying this out. It smells like candy. It goes on very shiny and wet, but dries fairly quickly. And I'm wearing the shade number 25, which is Allure. So yeah, I'm trying out this lipstick. It's my second time wearing it. So far, so good. It's comparable to the Revlon long-lasting liquid lipstick, but not quite as good, which is fine. Before I get into my planner tour, just wanted to mention, don't rule out Hobby Lobby. They are still getting more awesome planner stuff in, at least the Hobby Lobbies that I frequent. I've been wanting to play around with some traveler's notebooks lately. And the Hobby Lobby I go to now has two different options for traveler's notebooks. I've never seen traveler's notebooks at a Hobby Lobby before. One is this kind, and this one they call the Explorer's Journal. And it only comes with one, maybe two strings, depending on how you load it. But it is sturdy. If you've seen the Michael's Recollections Traveler's Notebook, Hobby Lobby's Explorer's Journal, way better quality. It's not paper lined, and it's not as cheap. And it's got a good band on it. The bands inside here are thicker than the ones at Michael's. They're not as flimsy or thin. And then you can also, and this does come with some blank inserts in it. I have mine elsewhere. And then you can also get a starter kit, which is usually right by these. A starter kit is fabulous. It's got extra elastics. You can add more books, including instructions on how to do so. It's got more inserts, including planner and calendar inserts. So that's one way to go. And this is slightly wider than the Michael's standard size traveler's notebook as well. But I got 6 books in here and 2 pens, and of course things were sticking out. Not too bad, but enough to where I wanted to try a wider traveler's notebook while I'm playing around. So that was when I was very happy to discover that Hobby Lobby now carries Webster's Color Crush traveler's notebooks. This is in their navy floral pattern. I also have the navy floral pattern in Webster's Color Crush ringed planners in personal size. I use that one off and on. I love the Webster's Color Crush planner line. To me, their stuff is higher quality than Michael's Recollections. However, I love Michael's Recollections and recommend that as well. By the way, side note, if you do Franklin Covey compact size pages, they fit beautifully in the Recollections personal size planners because they're wide. Alright, so yeah, this is a traveler's notebook I'm playing with. This is not the planner that I'm currently in. I am just playing with it. And yes, this is Webster's Color Crush. And I've got inserts in here from both Webster's Color Crush that I got from Hobby Lobby and from the Explorer's Journal that I got from Hobby Lobby. But this is supposed to be a planner tour of what planner am I in for the month of August. I am in this amazing beauty. And yes, this is like the creme de la creme of Franklin Covey planners. It's like, in my opinion, the mwah planner of Filofax would be the Malden. the amazing planner of Daytimer would be the Malibu. To me, the best planner of Day Runner would be their vintage boutique planner, which is very hard to find. I've got two via a thrift store and eBay. And the wow planner of Franklin Covey is the Aurora. Now they have an original vintage Aurora that came out first, and then they have a non-vintage Aurora, which I believe is not available in compact, from which I've seen, just in their bigger classic size, which is somewhat comparable to A5. If you're interested in that one, I've seen that for sale by both eBags and Franklin Covey on Amazon.com. I got it both in red and black, which I believe is the only colors available. That is not as good a quality as the vintage, and even though it comes with bigger rings and a smaller footprint, the pockets aren't as flexible, but it is fun to have if you want a small footprint classic size. But I'm in a compact, and so you might recall at the beginning of the year when I got my two vintage Auroras, when Franklin Covey came out with their vintage Auroras again, and in the beautiful cognac brown color. I love this color for a planner, and these smell as good as, if not better than, the Daytime Malibu leather, and it's amazing. So this is a compact vintage Franklin Covey. This isn't their original vintage. This is their new vintage that came out at the beginning of the year. And one way you can tell between the original vintage and the new vintage is these brads here. They lay kind of flat. On the original vintage, they are raised. And I think in the original vintage, it's lined with a different material that's not leather, I think. But on the new vintage, it's leather inside and outside. Fabulous. Okay, so the Franklin Covey compact size has the same hole and ring alignment or arrangement as Filofax Personal and Daytimer Portable. The difference, though, is the Franklin Covey compact pages are wider. They're the same length, the same holes, but they're wider. And I'm really finding right now for the season of life I'm in that works, because I needed a smaller, lighter planner, but I still need my day on 2 pages, and compact or portable and personal size pages were just a bit too narrow for me, as to where it looks like the compact size Franklin Covey pages are working well. So that's why if you get a compact Franklin Covey planner, they are wider, they have more width to the planner than do Daytimers and Filofaxes, because they're made to house the wider inserts, which means these also house the Michael's Recollections personal size inserts, which are also wider than Daytimer Portable and Filofax Personal, but not quite as wide as Franklin Covey Compact. So there we go. Beautiful thing about the compact vintage Aurora is we have this nice back pocket back here, and mine's empty. It's pretty much always empty. What I like to use it for is if I need to stick in a receipt or just pop something in there on the go when I'm out and about. I can stick it in here, and then when I get home I take it out and get it taken care of. So that's why this pocket most of the time is empty. It's a convenience pocket. Alright, now the compact vintage Aurora is a slip tab closure. There is no snap. There's a magnet in there, and it slip tabs close, and it closes beautifully. Now, one of my woes with the Franklin Covey Bella planner, which is really similar to the Aurora, is the strap is too short. And so when I put everything in my Bella, my strap may only close to about here, and that really bothered me. I want my strap close to here, because then I know my stuff is secure. And this strap holds secure. It never comes undone. But it's still easy to do and undo. And since I do a lot of my planning in bed at nighttime before I go to sleep, I'm not disturbing my husband with snapping noises opening and closing my planner, because this one doesn't have a snap. Alright, so now going inside. So it's got 2 pen loops. So my pens, you may notice I am back to the Uniball Vision Elites. The Pilot V5 Precise pens, I liked them a lot, but I ran out of ink in them pretty darn fast. These ones I have used for a while and I still haven't run out of ink on, and I like them just as well. They're definitely higher quality pen bodies and clips, and they're prettier. So yeah, I am back to my good old Uniball Vision Elites. So front pen loop currently has green, back pen loop currently has black. So that works out pretty good. There. Had to do a little switch there. Okay, and then my front page lifter / welcome page. is some laminated scrapbook paper, and I just have a journaling card on there that says this is my happy place, because my planner is my happy place. It's not my only happy place, but it is a happy place for me. In the pockets, in the ID slot, I just got a trimmed down journaling card. In the pockets, I've just got business cards, Avery labels, Avery dots, whole reinforcement stickers. The secretarial pocket here, I've got some Michael's Recollections functional planner stickers that I like. And behind those, I got some Carpe Diem label stickers. I love the Carpe Diem label stickers. I get them at Hobby Lobby, and I always try to have a couple of packs with me. I use them. They're great. All right, so going beyond my welcome page, on the back we have a family photo, and then we have more laminated scrapbook paper with some sticky notes from various places. Then the other side, sticky notes. And then I have some filler paper here, and I got it held together with a magnetic bookmark. And this is just where I jot down my grocery list or stuff I need to pick up from the store. And then we get into my 5 main dividers, and they are home, school, budgets, notes, and planning. And what I did with my dividers in here is really cool. It was really fun. I had a pack of 6 dividers for Carpe Diem for their A5 size, and I've never gotten around to using them. So I took 5 of them, and I just trimmed down those A5 dividers into Franklin Covey compact size. So I just trimmed it more narrow and more short. I kept the Carpe Diem tabs on the dividers, and then repunched them so that they fit right in here. And then I labeled each divider with Carpe Diem labels. So these are all trimmed down Carpe Diem dividers labeled with Carpe Diem labels, because I love their dividers and their labels. So this section, as you saw, is called Home. This is my homemaking section. Alright, and then the first page of my homemaking section are my daily chores. It's mostly cleaning chores, but there's a few non-cleaning chores in there, such as making a grocery list, going through the budget, etc. And then the next page are my children's daily cleaning chores. And the page after that is my children's daily table chores to help clean up after each meal. Page after that are my deep cleaning and organization projects. And then my emergency quick clean. You can print that off for yourself if you like. It's a 9-step process for getting the house in order quickly in case there's been a sickness or you've been out a lot and the housework has gotten away from you. So if you could use an emergency quick clean, you can print that off on my website at eyes2jesus.blogspot.com. Next page is my master grocery list, and I got a tab on it because if I grab that tab and turn it, it brings me right to my suppers menu that I write out each week. Alright, and then after my suppers menu, we've got my breakfast menu. It's printed out because we're doing the same breakfasts on the same days for each week. Then when we get tired of that, I will make a different menu and print that out and put that in. And the same goes with our lunch menu. And then this is supper ideas, and I reference this to help me when I'm planning out our suppers for each week. So that way I always know what I can plan out. Now the rest of my homemaking section, also marked with the tab, is my recipes section. So these are my main recipes. And this notepad note here is for my pizza crust recipe. I am about to perfect it. I've been wanting to do a few tweaks on it to make it better, and I've about got it. So now I need to move on to a homemade sauce that I'm testing and tweaking. So when I have it perfected, then I'll go ahead and just write it in the back of my recipes section. So my next divider is called School. And I am a homeschooling mother, so this is where I keep my homeschooling stuff. And if you've been following along on my blog, I recently completed a series called Homeschool Plan With Me. And that is linked in the sidebar in case you missed it. It was a 7-part series. If you followed along on that series, then this homeschool section is going to look very familiar to you because this was what I was planning and setting up in that Homeschool Plan With Me series. So the first page in my school section is our homeschool curriculum chart. And then if I turn the page, the rest of the chart is on the back side of the paper. And then over here is our homeschool schedule. And then these 2 pages are our homeschool reading lists. And then we got lists of our homeschool copywork assignments. And we'll be starting our new academic year of homeschool pretty soon, later this month. All right, and then I have a few pages of note paper. I have some notes written on this page. And then this page is blank. I just have it here for any additional notes I may need to write. And that's it for my school section, nice and simple. My next section is called budget. And I got this magnetic bookmark here to remind me not to show you personal, financial, sensitive pages. But on the other, so the first page in my budget section is called my budget guide. And in there I list reoccurring expenses and bills and which paycheck each month we pay which bills and reoccurring expenses on. And then I keep filler paper in here. So like here's some blank filler paper. And on that filler paper, what I do is I'll write the date of our check. All right, and then the amount, maybe. I mean, I don't always write the amount, but I'll write the date of the check. I'll look at the amount of the check. And then I'll look at my budget guide to see which expenses are assigned to that check. Then I'll list them out on the paper and their amounts. Then I look at our monthly calendar, my monthly plan ahead calendar, to see what's coming up for that check. That will be additional expenses that I'll need to put into the budget. So then I will write that all out on the piece of paper. I will check the bank regularly and mark off things that have cleared in the bank, and then the total that I have in my budget section is even more up to date and accurate than the total that I have in the bank, because if I wrote a check, I'll go ahead and already subtract it off even though it may not have shown up in the bank yet. So when we need to know how much money we have, we look in my budget section, not necessarily at our bank statement. Okay, also inside, well, no, actually that's it for the budget section. So the next divider is called notes. Alright, and this is my notebook. So the first page in notes is some tracking that I'm doing for a project. And then the next few pages are called nutrition and health. And these pages came out of a portable or personal size day runner boutique planner. And it lists weight guidelines for women, for their height and for their age. All right, and then it goes over fat-soluble vitamins, what the vitamin is, its function, what foods you can eat to get it, what symptoms of deficiency looks like. And then we have, and then they do the same thing with minerals. And then we have a calories and carbohydrate counter for the rest of that part. So that was really cute. One thing I want to demonstrate though is I can use this to show you the difference between a personal or portable size page versus a Franklin Covey compact size page. Recall, same holes, same ring configuration, same length, just different widths, okay? So this piece of paper here is your classic personal or portable size paper. This pink sticking out, this is your Franklin Covey compact size page. So you can see, look at that extra writing room, and boy, that little bit, it really makes a big difference. All right, and on that page it says table of contents because these pages are numbered, and it's where I keep basic reference notes. What I have in here right now are gift ideas, kids grocery week checklist, stock list, perpetual calendar, and family information. All right, and then I have a top tab divider in my notes section called directory, and I got that top tab divider also from a personal or portable size day runner boutique planner. All right, and here's what that directory top tab divider looks like. Again, you can see this is personal or portable size. This page back here is Franklin Covey compact size. And behind this subdivider, I will call it, I have directions on how to get to certain places that I have trouble getting to. And then behind that, I have Franklin Covey contact pages. Let me show you some blank ones. All right, contact pages, Franklin Covey contact pages that look like this. And these come in their planner starter kit if you wanted to just get several of them but not have a whole bunch and not have the whole alphabet. I just have several sheets in there and it works just fine. Okay, and then after that I have a lot of blank filler paper, so it's extra filler paper if I need it for my grocery list, for my budget section, for my homeschool section, etc., or to brain dump on. So this back here is brain dump paper / extra filler paper for anywhere else in the planner I need it. And you'll notice the paper I am using is pretty. This is filler paper that I just trimmed and cut from scrapbook paper. And it doesn't bother me that it's pretty on one side and just plain white on the other side. I use both sides regardless. However, I did recently pick up some double-sided scrapbook paper from Walmart that I might eventually make some filler paper out of. So if you have the thinner paper, scrapbook paper, that's good to make filler paper out of. I wouldn't use the thicker cardstock for this. The thicker cardstock is going to be more what I would do if I'm making homemade dividers, or if I'm making dashboards, inspiration pages, etc. I try to stick to just the more lighter and less busy color paper for my filler paper, so that it's easy to see my writing on it. So you can see I got a good variety in there. And this brings me to my last main divider, which is called planning. Okay, and inside planning, I got several sheets of filler paper, and I got them attached with a little magnetic bookmark. I think this is Recollections, but I could be wrong. And this is a running to-do list. So these several sheets of paper are for to-do lists. And this to-do list, it's not time sensitive. This is stuff that can just be done anytime. So what I'll do is if I end up with extra time during a day, or an appointment or something got canceled, so all of a sudden my day opens up, then I will turn to my to-do list and just start going through it and getting some of the stuff from that done. There's nothing checked off on this to-do list currently because it's a fresh, brand new to-do list. Alright, and then after the to-do list, I have a piece of filler paper, and this is my gardening notes, and I've already got some notes in here written down for my 2018 garden. And then I also, on the bottom part of the page, just have some notes on my hair and some things that I've been trying with my hair that I just want to keep track of. Okay, after that we come to 4 years at a glance. So that's 2016, 17, 18, and 19, and that's Franklin Covey. And then I have the whole year in here, month on 2 pages, Franklin Covey Compact Originals. Alright, so we're in August, so here's my August month. Alright, and then after all the month on 2 pages, we get to my planning pages, and I'm using day on 2 page planning pages, and I only have 1 month at a time in here. So right now I just have August in here for my daily planning. Now the rings in the Compact Vintage Aurora are gold, oval, inch, and 1/3 rings. So you can fit a lot of stuff in here, but if you have a whole bunch of stuff in here like I do, then you probably only go on, I carry a month at a time of planning pages. If you don't have as much stuff in here as I do, excuse me, then you could do 3 months easily. Alright, so my month on 2 pages, and I'm filming this on a Sunday, so I don't have a whole lot going on. I slept in, got up, had breakfast, went to church, etc. So you'll see we have this section, and this is, by the way, this is Franklin Covey Original Compact Day on 2 pages. So you have where you put your to-do list here, anything you're tracking down here, schedule or appointments here. Alright, and then I have my page finder with a ruler on it. I use the ruler. And this is a day timer one. Now, I do have, as I mentioned a bit earlier, I did get the Franklin Covey Compact Planner Starter Kit, which comes with the Franklin Covey page finder, and it has that little clear sheet on it so you can stick notes or compass cards in it to keep in front of you. I like the day timer page finder better because I like how it's flat at the top and not curved. I like how it's dark at the top and it says today on it. And I like how it shows inches and centimeters, as to where the Franklin Covey one I got only shows inches. And this one just seems more sturdier. It doesn't fall out of the rings. The Franklin Covey one comes out of the rings just a bit too easy for my taste. So I'm using a day timer page finder. Alright, and then this is my master to-do list, and this is still in personal or portable size. I don't see any reason to upgrade it to Franklin Covey compact size. This still works for me either way. So my laminated master to-do list is kind of like a list of my daily routines or like a block schedule. I don't have specific times in here except for maybe 1 or 2 places. Mostly I just have time of day. So I have my first section called morning, and each item is numbered. So in morning I have 9 items. They're numbered items 1 through 9. And then I have the next section called afternoon, and afternoon, want to make sure it's on the same page. Afternoon items are numbered 1 through 6. On the other side, I have afternoon into evening. Those items are labeled 1 through 7. And then I have evening into night. Those are items 1 through 4. And then before bed, which is items 1, 2, 3. Because I like to keep my before bed routine light and easy, because by the time I get to my before bed routine, I'm tired and I want to go to bed. All right, and then after that, we get to my second page of Day on 2 Pages. And my filming this on Sunday means my second page is pretty sparse. It gets pretty filled up on weekdays. But on a general weekday, what I do with the second page, because a lot of people want to know, what do you do with the second page on Day on 2 Pages? Here's what I do. I will write the breakfast, lunches, and suppers plan for that day that I check from elsewhere in my planner. I'll also write my cleaning chores from the day, which I grab from my daily chores page in the homemaking section of my planner, where I also will look up my children's cleaning chores, and I'll write them over here. All right, and then down here in this area is for, sometimes I have something in my task or to-do list, and I want to break it up into smaller steps when I get to it. So I'll do subsets or sub-to-do lists, I guess you can call it, over here, where I'll take a to-do from here and break it into smaller steps, and then write those steps here. And then the bottom part of the page I'll often use as a food journal, because I need to make sure that I'm eating enough calories. My problem is I'll forget about food, or I'll be too busy to eat, and then if I don't eat enough calories, then my metabolism slows down, and then when I have days when I actually eat normal calories, I actually gain weight because I slowed down my metabolism because I got used to not eating enough. So I will keep a food journal at least 3 days a week, sometimes a whole week, just to make sure I am eating enough and that I am remembering to eat. I mean, I will eat meals with the family, but I have to make sure I give myself big enough portions and that I actually sit down and chew my food. And that also helps me track if I got a headache. I can see, well, what did I eat? Maybe there's something sensitive there. If I got a stomach ache, was it something I ate, etc. And I track a lot of health things in my planner that I don't know that I've really mentioned much. On my month on 2 pages, I do track my menstrual cycles and any other interesting observations I have with that. I'm almost 40, and in your late 30s to early 40s, I'm nowhere near perimenopausal, but you start getting things change. So, you know, you may need to track a bit more closer. Your cycles may change, your symptoms change, etc. Cycle lengths, etc. I also, on my month and 2 pages, I track headaches. I will track when I get a headache, and I will look at, does this have to do with where I am hormonally on my hormonal cycle? And if not, then I check my food journal, and I like to try to track down what caused the headache so that I can hopefully prevent it or be ready for it if it comes back. I also, especially for a while, I was tracking, this may be TMI, but it might be helpful to someone, how often I had bowel movements. And I tracked that because I thought that I was chronically constipated. And it turns out I am not. It turns out that that goes along with where I am hormonally. And so I tracked that long enough to see a definite pattern. So if you're a lady and you think that you might be chronically constipated, frankly, you might want to track your hormone cycles, track when you go to the bathroom, and see if you find a pattern that coincides like I did. All right, so yeah, I track a lot of stuff. All right, so let me turn to a blank Day on 2 pages. Here's a blank one so you can see what they look like without all my stuff in the way. And these are the originals. For 2018, I would really want to get their Flora. I don't know if they're going to make it in 2018. If not, I'm leaning towards their new blooms. They redesigned their blooms, or seasons. But, you know, they only have a few options out right now for the 2018 ones. I'm going to wait until more options come out, and then I can make more of a decision. So after my full month on Day on 2 pages, I come to this. This is a cardstock piece of Franklin Covey paper. It like came in an insert pack or the starter pack or something just to divide pages, so it's usually thrown away. I kept it and stuck it back here because this is perfect to use as a guide when I'm making more filler paper. I can trace around this to get the correct size, and I can mark the holes for punching. I do have a 6-hole hole punch. I rarely ever use it. I prefer to use my single hole punch Crocodile because it's faster. With my single hole punch Crocodile, I can go through 20 sheets of paper. So I only have to punch 6 holes and I got 20 sheets of punched pieces of paper. So that's way faster than doing 2 to 4 sheets at a time in a 6-hole punch. We got to line it up, make sure it's all in there properly, push it through, etc. So most of the time I just use my Crocodile. Alright, after that I have 3 temporary sections in here, and these are labeled Planner Guide, Values and Mission, and Goals. And this is part of the Planner Starter Pack. And this is the Compact Blooms Planner Starter Pack. And I don't know if I'm going to fill all these out or not. I started filling some of these out earlier this year in the classic size. I actually had some for free that came with a really cheap binder that I'd gotten off of eBay. And some of those things I feel like they don't apply to me, or that's not how my brain works. And maybe it's because I'm on the autism spectrum and I'm just different. I don't know. But there's a lot of social stuff and social goals. I don't have any of that. So I have no desire for any of that. And that sounds really uncomfortable and weird and heinous to me. So I don't know. Maybe I will fill out these forms and just change some of them to more fit for me. So I have them in here to play with. I figure if anything, I can read them and fill some of them out, like when my kids are in some of their classes or extracurricular activities. Then while I'm sitting there watching them, every once in a while I can work on filling these out. So I have these in here, and right now I consider them temporary. All right, after that I have a top loading pocket, and I have some planner money. And I love it when I can have a bit of planner money in my planner. And then I have another top loading pocket, just got some journaling cards, a piece of paper I need to handle, and an extra magnetic bookmark. This does not need to be here to hold these closed. They stay closed. I just stick my extra magnetic bookmarks here because I found that I often prefer to use a magnetic bookmark to clip pages in instead of a paper clip, because paper clips can bend or mark pages or scratch pages sometimes that they face. But if you get my Melania lipstick feels wild. Okay, but if you use a magnetic bookmark, then you're not marking up your pages, and it's cute and it's pretty. So I do have a paper clip here in my planner I'll show you in a minute, but most of the time I use magnetic bookmarks. And it might be just a matter of, for example, one of the bills we pay in person by check, so I'll write out that check like the night before, and then I'll just do a magnetic bookmark and clip it to the next day's page. And then the next day when I go to pay, I just flip that page, pull out the check, done. Alright. After that I have a page lifter, and these are reoccurring things I wrote on labels that get stuck in their proper places on my master to-do list when I need to do them. So instead of writing them all the time, I just wrote them on labels and I keep them back here. And on the other side of this page lifter is just extra labels or arrows or tabs so I can grab one quickly. And then I have another page lifter behind that. Why do I have 2 page lifters? Because I personally have found in the Compact Vintage Aurora and Franklin Covey Compact Haley planners, 2 page lifters in the back make all the difference. They close, or sometimes close a bit hard or wonky, or it can be weird feeling when you close them if you have no page lifters in the back or only one. But with 2 page lifters in the back, both the Vintage Compact Aurora and the Vintage Haley, they close fabulously. So 2 page lifters in the back. If you're having problems closing it, give it a shot. Okay, back pocket. See, this is where I got a paper clip in my planner, and these are just some papers that I like to keep back here for reference, and then behind these papers are some folded up bills that I still need to pay, so I just keep bills that I need to pay back here. And in this zipper pocket, I just have some more labels and arrows and tabs. And some people don't like this feature, but I love this feature. The pen loop, see, is right by the zipper pull. I like to stick the zipper pull under the pen loop, and the pen loop helps keep the zipper pull in place. So my zipper pull never gets in my way. And I like that because I like having zipper pockets in my planners, but so many times the zipper pull actually gets in my way. So that pen prevents it from getting in the way. So that is my current planner setup for the month of August.